Welcome back. We've made it to episode 8 here on the podcast. Excited to have everyone here on this journey. Really, it's been a lot of fun. We are 1 week in. I guess we have, if I do that math, there's 52 weeks in a year, so that's 51 more weeks of the podcast to go for NFT 365. I'm excited. We've been doing the mint every day, and so we have 1 week now where we can kind of recap some of what we've had going on. We're also going to kind of talk a little bit about, what does all that mean and how does all of that kind of come together? Before we get into that, I just want to say, one of the things that is, I think, that we're learning on this journey is, really where the education falls and where we can actually help out. What is the value that we can provide? And for those that are tuning in, part of the other thing about this is that the landscape of NFTs is always changing. I mean, I'm talking every day something is changing and a lot of things impact it. And one of the weird trends happened this week, and I just wanted to highlight that is, interestingly enough, as the crypto prices go up, especially Ethereum, as it goes up in price, of course, now it actually impacts NFTs. And it seems to, as the crypto Ethereum goes up in price, NFTs it's a little bit harder to buy and kind of trade because, of course, the amount goes up, right? When I was, I remember a couple months ago, for me, 0.5 ETH I was like, oh, that's, it's about $1,000 or $1,500. Now 0.5 ETH is, north of $2,500 or $2,300 or so. So that's a big thing to kind of think about, is all the variables that kind of come in play in this entire landscape of NFTs. And I can tell you the feedback for the show has been great. I will kind of share some breaking news for those that are here listening. We are recording this on video as well. We are going to be broadcasting this podcast live from Miami at NFT Bezel, which is part of the Art Bezel event. So on November 30th, if you are in Miami, they're gonna set us up a little media area, and we're gonna hopefully interview a couple people that are there at the actual event. But that's gonna be something we're gonna, of course, do a lot of. It's something that I've done with my other podcasts, and I couldn't be more excited to kind of bring this to Miami and bring you kind of some of the trends that we're gonna see there. So make sure you're also following over on Instagram and Twitter. My account is iSocialFans with a Z everywhere and any for all podcast things. And so the NFT NYC event had a very interesting impact on NFTs. I thought there created some buzz around certain collections, and then of course there was some buzz around some other collections, and then we've kind of had a little bit of a downtime since. And then so it's very interesting to kind of track the trends as far as how do events impact NFT prices and those kind of things as well. And I will also say, I think I might have purchased or kind of minted in my own selection. One of the coolest projects I've ever been a part of, and it's Timberland. Timberland, the music producer, he had an NFT with a song where you got to, it's called actually Ape In, because he has a Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I actually own the rights to the song. So in a future episode, maybe the next episode, I'll play a clip of that song in this podcast, which is kind of cool because I own the NFT. I actually own the rights to that NFT. And so I'm going to jump into the reason I'm not going to do this every week, but I wanted to do this off the first week. For me, part of this journey with minting an NFT every single day is not only am I able to bring you guys on the journey with us, and we're gonna track some trends on the website. We're gonna monitor different things that we can see. We're gonna play a little bit some games out there. But it's also a learning experience for me. And this week, of course, has been a pretty good learning experience when it comes to the different things and nuances that happen in minting of NFTs. And so on day one, the first day that we launched the podcast and this show, which was actually a week after we came up with the idea, so it's kind of interesting on that side. The first one, the thing that we minted, and the first what you guys see right here on screen for those that are watching on video, is we actually minted the Ethereum. Not Ethereum. We did the actual ENS domain. So Ethereum name service is one we did, and so we got the URL, or I guess you can call it URL in ETH. So it's N3F6T5.eth, which of course is NFT and 365 kind of jumbled together. So that was actually our first mint, and part of the reason was because that was actually the week prior I got the bonus tokens from this company from ENS Domains for the couple of ones that I had minted back in March. And for those that aren't familiar with that, one part of the thing that's really interesting thing here in NFTs and in Web3 is this idea of co-ownership, right? And if you own a NFT, if you own different aspects that are on the blockchain, then you have actually ownership in the company and the way things are moving forward, because that is the true essence of decentralization. And so they actually awarded tokens, ENS tokens, to all of us that had actually minted the ENS domains prior to Halloween. And so, interestingly enough, for me, I think I spent about $380 for the, it's fanzo.eth, which is the ETH address for my personal wallet. And they actually awarded us, our ENS tokens, which I believe for me ended up being almost $12,000. They awarded me if I swap them out right away, just for owning that, right? Like talking about like a cool aspect of this whole concept of Web3. And so the very first one that we definitely had to do was the ENS domain. So that was our first day. And then the second day we did a project, which is the Chibi Ape project, which actually, while we're recording this right now, they're going to do the art reveal for the Chibi Apes that we are going to see. So this isn't the art that you see here on the screen if you're watching, but Chibi Apes is a project that I've actually been a part. We did the Chibi Galaxy is the one that we did for this project, but I've actually been a part of all three of they have the Gen 1, the Gen 2, and now the Genesis or the Galaxy third version of their project. And I actually met this team out there in New York, got to meet the founders, and I just really love the roadmap, the art. There's a 3D aspect of it. And I might have been influenced as that I went to a Decentraland party the Saturday before this started, and just had a lot of fun with them and the team. So this is our actually first PFP mint. We will actually be able to see the art tomorrow. So I'll put a link to the art in the show notes as well, so you guys can check that out. But it's one that I've been following for over 3 months now, and kind of a no-brainer PFP project that I was able to kind of jump in at first. And I'm going to make sure on the website, and one of the things we're going to do here is very transparent on how much ETH it was, how much gas we paid, which is the transaction fee, and then what's the total US dollars we spent on these different projects, so that we can track them over the 365 days. And so that one was a lot of fun, and I know the team is super excited. They actually had given me a Chibi Galaxy to give out to one of our followers, and I believe it was it might have been JJ. I'm not sure. I can't remember who won. One of our followers won, and so that is one of the perks here. Make sure you're in the Discord over there, for all of us there, because I do get some really cool gifts. Some of these projects will award me some things, and I can gift them to you guys as well. And so on day 3, we did this one here, which is Cubotz, and I actually had discovered the project through a friend that had worked with the artist before. And after doing some research on that day, there was actually like 3 projects that we were looking at, a whole group of us that I kind of lean on for advice. And I will tell you, this is like a lesson for me. And I want to share this. Part of the assessment of projects that I'm, with, especially with this project, is, we want to look at community. We want to look at the art. We want to look at, the roadmap. How much do we trust the people that are involved with the project? But there's also an aspect of who do we trust that's actually recommending the project. And I will tell you, one of my core principles here with the podcast, as well as this Mint 365 experience, is that we are going to be dedicated to be very transparent. If a project is giving me something for free, if they're paying me to do an Ask Me Anything in their Discord or on their Twitter Spaces, I'm going to make sure that you guys are aware of that, so I'm a big believer that no one project, no one brand, no one event is worth jeopardizing the trust that we've built with our audience. And so that's one that's important to me. And so a couple of times what we're going to see on this project is I'll be doing research, and if someone comes to me and says, Brian, I've been doing research for multiple months, and I know them, I trust them on who they are and what they're all about, there's a high likelihood of me actually leaning on that, even maybe more so than some of the research that I've done. And so this project, I really do like the art. This is the reveal that we got, and we're going to be a little bit fun to track that one as well. All right, so on day four of 365, we did this one, which is the Astroheads, which is a really cool project. And I will tell you, this one surprised me the most this week. And I will say I did a lot of research on this one as far as community, jumped into the Discord, followed some people onto Twitter. I even reached out to a couple people that are in the kind of ecosphere of this team. And I will also say, like, on that day, there really wasn't a bunch of other options that I wanted to mint. There was a couple that I was looking at, but the prices were really high. And so this one, the price was, we were able to get this one at a fairly low price. And I like their roadmap. They also had like a really unique art collection. And I will tell you that little hairdress that we have on ours, I believe it's a very unique characteristic or property here for this NFT, which I will explain why that is important here in a minute. So that was day four. Day five, we got a little creative. I'm not sure if you guys heard in the news, but there was a DAO, which for those that don't understand what DAOs mean, we're going to do a whole episode on DAOs. But if you think about it, DAO is kind of a decentralized group of people that pull their resources and their money together to invest in projects and maybe invest in multiple projects. And it's kind of like, in a way, it's a Web3 startup kind of mastermind, incubator type. And this team, they actually put together this crazy idea of raising money to buy the Constitution, which was going up for sale for auction on Sotheby's auction. And I believe they raised over $42 million. Yeah, $42 million. For us on this project, Mint, the Mint 365 project, we put 0.08 ETH into this project, which I thought was a little fun, right? We could change it up, right? We did a couple PFP projects, which stands for profile photo. And this one, we did the Constitution one. Interestingly enough, yesterday was the auction. Last night was the auction. And it didn't win the auction, unfortunately. Someone else actually came in and bought the Constitution, the rights to the Constitution, for $43 million, I believe is what they ended up getting it for. And interestingly enough, I believe it sold for about $200,000 or $300,000 last time it was for sale, I think in the late 80s, early 90s. So it was a cool project, something fun, and it will have tokens. I believe they're calling them the People's Tokens that will be attached to this project because they didn't win the Constitution side. So we're going to track that along. So it kind of was a neat experiment of, investing in a DAO that didn't actually accomplish what it wanted to accomplish, but now we're going to have another offset. So we'll be tracking that as well. All right, so day six, we did this one, which is OmniGirl, which is kind of like a sushi meets Japanese art. It is also on the Solana blockchain. So this one is not on Ethereum. The first 5 that we did was on the Ethereum blockchain. And so this one was on Solana. And I give a shout out to Jason Keith. Jason Keith was the one that actually recommended this one, turned me on to the art. I liked it because it was a small batch. The art they had a lot of unique art pieces. I believe there's only 756 total pieces in this collection compared to some of these other collections like Chibi Galaxy, I believe is about 4,000 in that collection, but both Cube and the Astro one is a 10,000 collection. So this one's on Solana. I think we're going to do a lot of Solana ones. We're going to do a couple Cardano. We'll do a couple Vivo, other blockchains ones as well. And I thought this was pretty cool. The art's pretty neat, pretty cool little project. And the founders have roots in Japanese art, and I'm a big sushi fan, so that one kind of connected the dots there. And then the last one of the 7 days is the one that we see here, which is called the Merry Modz, or Merry Modz, M-O-D-Z. And this one, I had a little bit of difficulty getting involved in it. And the background on this one is Tom Bayou and the Impact Theory team, who actually launched their own NFT earlier this year. And I picked up a couple of those performance keys that they had. Tom has a massive community. He sold one of his a company in the Kind Bar company, and has built really a great rapport, great community. Got to chat with him a little bit in New York, and he had a sister project which was the Merry Modz, which is a Christmas themed NFT project. And there's some 3D components in there. There's some really unique roadmap, and so this one, it was interesting. I was attempting to mint it with my a wallet a rainbow wallet, which was on my phone, using that as a use case. And I had a little bit of difficulty. I know that the gas prices were really high when they did that, but I ended up being able to make it happen through, the actual, MetaMask wallet. But I will say the other thing about this project, the one that we did the 7th, is, I'm banking a lot on the trust I have in the initial launch, right? And like that's something that we're going to learn, or something we're going to talk about a lot here across this project. So these are the 7 that we minted, right? So we did the ENS Domain, we did the Chibi Galaxy, we did the Cubotz, we did the Astroheads, the Constitution DAO, we did the OnigiriNFTS, and then of course the Modz are our 7. So I'll put the links to the landing page. You guys can check out all of these, and we're going to be tracking them throughout the 365 days. Yeah, I'm not selling these. This is a practice in diamond handing the different projects. So those are the 7 that we minted. But I mentioned a little bit earlier that something kind of jumped out at me, and it actually was with this actual, the Astroheads project that we minted. If you can actually see, the floor price has jumped up massively just in the 4 days that we minted it. I believe we minted it for 0.06 ETH, and the floor right now is 0.14 ETH. So we've over doubled what we put into it. So for those that were thinking of it from like a flipper's mindset, this is actually a very interesting example where we could actually flip this, double our money, and get out of this and move on to something else. Of course, with this project, we're going to hold on to it, but it'll be fun to see because one of the projects that I actually expected to have a floor increase, which was actually the Chibi Galaxy one, it did, but not near as much as this Astroheads one. And we got a couple offers. I believe we got an offer for 0.18 for ours as well. And so that's another thing that we're logging in our over in our Discord as well as on the website. So hopefully you guys can come along with us on this journey as we're kind of learning these different NFTs, and hopefully you can learn different ways of how I'm evaluating them. We're going to kind of bring in some of your insights. So if you're in the Discord, I'm going to have some of the people in Discord vote on which we should mint on that day. I will also say we're starting to build out a massive list. People are reaching out and saying, hey, I have a project coming up. So we're making like a list of each week. We'll have an idea of like 30 or so projects that we'll keep an eye on. And of course, for those that are interested, I am doing a coin drop for the video. So if you're watching the video version of this podcast, it'll be up on YouTube. I also post it out on Facebook as well. You just hold your phone up and scan that QR code. You can actually get yourself a coin there from the ADHD coin. It is free. You don't need to have a wallet or anything. If you already have a wallet, you've already done these drawings. I actually gave away coins back in episode 4 as well. If you go back and listen to episode 4, that one you didn't need to watch the video. That one I actually give out the link. This one we're going to use that QR code. So it is what is powering this podcast. It is what is powering also a couple other things that we are working on that we have coming down the pipe. And then, just kind of pulling all this together, right? For me, like, I can't tell you how excited I am at learning in public and kind of sharing out there with the world these different things that we're learning on this project and the different ways that we're doing it. But a podcast is the thing that I am also, really prioritizing and focusing on. And so if you have suggestions for, hey, Brian, I'd love you to tackle this question. Or Brian, I would love for you to talk about this. Please feel free to reach out. Anywhere that you can find me, I'm active on every social channel, iSocialFans. Or if you want to just send me an email, it's brian@isocialfans.com. You can send me an email with, hey, Brian, I'd love for you to talk about, the different blockchains. Or Brian, I'd love for you to break down, the future of NFTs or different, whatever questions you might have. I'm here for you guys to answer those questions. And then, kind of lastly here, I will also say, like, I'm very blessed. This is my 5th podcast that I've launched, and I'm able to really build on some of the things that I've learned along the way. And one of them is also understanding that everyone kind of listens and consumes on different platforms. And of course, we've been able to have, a bunch of different episodes so far, what you guys see here. The last episode being about Discord. We talked a little bit about this minting project and what that all means. We talked a little bit about community and where that's going. Also talked about getting started with NFTs without having to put money up and how that all kind of ties together. But I will also say, some of these episodes are going to be shorter, kind of quick hitters. Other ones are going to go deeper and maybe have some, bring in some guests and do an interview as well. But I just want to say, for me, this is collaborative, and the part that I maybe am most excited about, and it's the thing that I wanted to kind of let you guys in on, is we are going to have some really cool opportunities for you guys to get involved in this project. And I'm going to kind of share it here. We are going to roll out very soon. The date has not been released, but we are going to offer 365 season superfan tickets that you're to be able to purchase an NFT. That with that NFT, you're actually going to own a percentage of this total project when we sell it off on November 11th, 2022. And on top of that, we're also going to do a special kind of investor season pass that we're going to have 22 of those to offer for the audience. That's going to be at a little different price model, but it's actually going to give you a little bit higher percentage of the stake into this project. And I will tell you, I'm going to be giving up over 50% of the project to you, the community, you, the listeners, because this is, for me, as much I'm learning. I want us all to kind of come together and kind of go on this journey, as one. And on the last part of that, I will say, also be aware of our mental health and be aware of some of the things that are out there. There is like every platform, like everything that exists when it comes to technology and the world around us. There are bad people that are going to do bad things, and there are sometimes people that are going to create problems. They're going to sell you a fake bill of goods. But we can't let them, kind of ruin it for the rest of us or ruin it for those that are out there. So just be very careful in who you listen to for advice. We laugh, in this podcast. You guys have heard it. You hear it during the intro and you hear it during the outro. When I say, our amazing voiceover man, Kevin Sturmer, he said, use that phrase that, this is not financial advice. Do your own damn research. But the reason I stress that is because we all are going to have different versions of success. Our risk tolerance is going to be different for everyone. And so I just challenge everyone, just because someone that, a big name influencer or author or speaker is talking about an NFT project doesn't mean it's going to be successful. Just because a brand is behind it doesn't mean it's going to be successful. We have Ghostbusters is coming out with an NFT very soon. The Matrix movie, which is one we are definitely tracking here, is coming out with one very soon. But I've seen a lot of the branded ones fail. A lot of the branded ones have forgot about the importance of community and bringing in that trust and having a roadmap that makes sense and connecting it to the story along the way as well. And so there's a lot of different moving parts. And so that's why I really stress doing your own damn research. And hopefully what I can do, what this is all about for me, is it opens your mind to different perspectives, different ways that we can approach things. And if we can have all of these different ideas and different ways that we can approach things, then we can assess everything and make the right decision for us. And I will tell you guys, that to me is what this is all about. So with that, make it a great day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this first week. We are on to week 2 of the podcast, week 2 of the Mint 365 experiment. Make sure you jump over into the Discord. If you're up for it, leave a review on iTunes, and stay tuned for some dates on those NFT drops. And you might just be able to get on the whitelist if you go to ADHDcoin.com. You heard it here. Cheers, my friends. Make it a good one.